Hey everyone, welcome back to another fidget video. My name is Jason, and in this video I am exploring why is it so hard to replace my BFRB. You know, sometimes I will be hanging out with a friend or a family member and they'll catch me picking my skin. And in that moment they're like, Jason, stop! Like, do you want to reach for a fidget? Or maybe you can try a breathing exercise. And in that moment, one thing I wish I could convey to them is the intensity of my BFRB urge. I feel like if I could just explain it to them, they could better understand and empathize with my experience and understand why it's just so hard to replace that sensation. So this is the question that sort of inspired this video and what I hope to accomplish in exploring it with you. So the video is going to start with this BFRB process diagram, which I explored in a previous video, but as it is trying to explain this sensation to maybe somebody who doesn't have a BFRB, I'm going to pick a more universal discomfort, one of hunger. When we feel hungry, we will feel this urge to eat. And with this urge, we'll seek out some food, and that food, once we've eaten that food, it provides us a certain amount of relief when full, or at least, when we're not hungry anymore. And to plot this, these feelings on a graph, say we have our energy hunger levels on the y-axis, plot this over time. Maybe we'll start out feeling pretty full, but as our day goes on, we burn through our energy, that level will drop up until a certain point where we cross this threshold and we start feeling that urge to eat again. So, we seek out some food, and after eating that food, it will restore our energy. Hopefully that makes sense. You're all still with me. And this is where I want to say, not all food is created equal. One option for food is I could be eating some instant noodles. Just open up a package, boil some water, 5 minutes, I'm eating. Alternatively, I have some raw veggies on hand. I could cut them all up, make some rice from scratch, and make a stir fry. But, as kind of the graph conveys, this stir-fry green line will take longer than making the instant noodles. So to demonstrate, again, this concept back on the process diagram, that food item, we could be reaching for instant noodles. Alternatively, there's sort of a stir-fry pathway to get So, there are different options to travel from the urge to the relief. To flip this back to the BFRB version, it's that urge. We look for our BFRB. Alternatively, we could take this green replacement path. And so this is what I also want to convey on our graph. So again, I'll make the BFRB version with full and starving on the y-axis. I'm just going to label it comfort, discomfort. And instead of instant noodles and stir fry, we have our BFRB and our replacement. Okay, so this is basically what I wanted to establish. And now that we're here, a few things that I want to point out is I want you to notice the slope of the BFRB line, just the intense sharp spike of relief and comfort that it just comes when I engage with my BFRB versus this replacement slope. It just takes that much longer for the replacement to kick in. The first mindful breaths, it's still in this uncomfortable hatched area, right? I'm still below the line, and it's in that moment where it's just I get frustrated and I feel like I just need to reach for my BFRB. That's one thing to point out. Another thing I'll say, going back to this instant noodle stir fry situation, maybe the instant noodle isn't as satisfying as the stir fry. It just doesn't fill me up in the same way. Well, unfortunately for the BFRB, I think it's the opposite. I think it's the replacement that not only does it take a long time, it also just isn't as satisfying. One thing that I want to mention here is, so it's kind of like here visualizing when you're starving, that's not the time to make something from scratch. But that's kind of what we're being asked to do when, the BFRB urge is at its most intense. It's like, okay, now's the time to make a full stir-fry meal. And yeah, it's just not, it's just so difficult to implement, execute in the moment. So this kind of begs the question, like, why would we ever reach for our BFRB replacement? I have some thoughts on that, but I think I will save that for the next video. In the meantime, if this video has resonated with you in any way, again, I'm thinking maybe share it with a friend or a family member to better help kind of understand your BFRB experience. But for now, that is why is it so hard to replace my BFRB. All right, see you.